Welcome to X4 Foundations. Diamant here. At the end of last episode, I had a long list of missions that we were actually going to be completing. Now, I've gone through most of them. Let me go ahead and get docked here. But we're at the Teladi trading station in order to see the representative because we're actually about to get promoted. We went through and I completed pretty much the entire list here. We got about 400,000 credits, and that got us all the way to plus 10 with the Teladi company. So we're gonna go ahead and get our promotion and join the guild. From there, we're gonna have way more lucrative missions to do, and we're gonna actually be getting some of the more valuable items when we're getting ready to set up our own station. So we're kind of well on our way. Now, there are certain goals that we're gonna have. Now, I mentioned the Hyperion last episode. That is something that we're actually going to do, but I'll show you what the ultimate goal is right now. I like having the standing with Teladi, which is good. It gets us the guild and it gets us lucrative missions so we can get some cash flow coming in. But what I really want to do is to get standing with the ministry, which we're gonna have to work on as we go, because this is the goal right now, is to go ahead and get ourselves a cormorant. And the reason I want to do that is because it's not an extremely powerful ship, but it's got decent container storage, and we can actually fit some guns on it. So we can get a decent amount of combat and decent amount of survivability all within one ship, so we can start trading and doing missions and doing minor combat, which includes the Envoy missions. So our goal is to go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and get the standing set up here. We're gonna join the guild. I'm gonna do a few missions for the guild, earn us a little bit more cash, and then we're gonna start doing specifically stuff for the ministry so we can get ourselves a cormorant, and that's the goal by the end of the episode. So we finished talking to the Teladi representatives, and we're back in 18 billion. In a minute, I'm gonna open up some more sectors in this this middle area here, so we have more pathways through the center of the galaxy, and we'll open up more stations. But I kind of want to hang out here since we've got a lot of the ministry stations here, and hopefully we can pop up and get some missions from them or destroy criminal traffic while we're doing that, because that's where we want our standing so that I can actually get that ship. Now, we can start to do some guild missions as well as we look through here. I've already done a couple, and you can see we make some decent money. So we've almost got enough money or enough credits to actually buy the ship that I want. We should have more than enough by the time I actually finish up the standing that I need. So like stuff like this, you get paint mods, ship weaves through the guild. Let's just do something simple like a extraction. So we'll do missions like this, and I'm gonna start shooting some of the criminal traffic around the stations, see if we get some standing, and we'll open up some sectors and then go from there, and then hopefully we'll be ready to get our cormorant. So we've completed a few more missions, and you're gonna notice we've gotten ourselves over the 1,000,000 credit mark. So we're gonna shift gears just a little bit. I want to get some trading up and running, since that's kind of the theme of this playthrough. So now that we got a little bit of cash, we can actually expand out into some trading ships, which I think is what we're gonna do, because we'll be able to get a ship and at least one of them. And I think what we'll do is we'll come here and grab, I forget which one is the faster of the two, because I don't want to wait forever for these to, I think it's going to be the turn. Yeah, so we'll get one of these guys here. For the hull and just the minimum, it's gonna cost us about 500,000 credits. So we're gonna buy one of these guys. It gives us about 10,000 storage, about 3 times what we've got on the ship that we're currently flying, which we're gonna keep. So let's get this started in construction. So once this ship is finished, we're then gonna take them over to the equipment dock, which will save us money on our components. We'll add a few things like a docking computer, trading computer, things like that. And then I'm gonna start trading with that ship. I think what we'll do, let me see how long this is gonna take. Oh, so they need hull parts. All right, so we can actually make some money real quick while we do this. Let's go up to our filters. So it can't build our ship until it gets some hull parts, because the game just started, so the economy is broken right now. So if we go over to here, Yanamasura, they're selling hull parts for 217, and The shipyard that we want to sell them to is for 279, so we're gonna make a little bit of cash, and we'll get this bumped up so that it'll actually build the ship that we want. But hull parts is a really good thing to start. So I'm noticing there's hull parts, obviously there's gonna be a lot of demand for because the wharfs and the shipyards need them, and specifically we can trade them with the ministry guys to help make money and build up some of our faction. It'd be another way to build up faction standing is to trade with these guys, because both the shipyard and the wharf are gonna need hull parts constantly. Like this one needs 76,000 hull parts at the Teladi shipyard, so it's just a never-ending supply. Like, they're not making hull parts in any of the sectors we've explored fast enough to be able to supply these guys, so that's our opening. The other thing I noticed was, I'm getting a little ahead of ourselves, but for field coils, I noticed as I was wandering around, like field coils, you know, anywhere from 550 to 600 is what you can sell them for. And you can buy them, like this trading station has them for 395, and then there's one or two factories around, like this one has them for 400. So that's another opportunity to make some early credits. So we can get some of our ships running around back and forth, buying and selling different products. So anyway, I'm gonna hop out. We need to get some hull parts over to this station so that it'll actually build our trading ship. But you'll notice, even after it's built, we're gonna be at about 500,000 credits. Then we'll take them over to here. We might spend maybe another 100,000 just getting him upgraded with some modules on there, and then we'll have probably 400,000 in just seed money that we can use for trading. So I'm gonna complete missions, open up sectors, and yeah, just basically build standing and cash. So let me get that hull parts run completed, and then we'll get our ship up and running. All right, so that's our ship right there. While we were out, other ships came and actually supplied some of it, but that's okay. We still can sell this stuff and make some money. So profit from that was about 14,000, which isn't amazing, but we don't have a very big cargo hold, so we're gonna want to be upgrading that really soon, like starting right now. So we've got our turn Vanguard here. So it's just a hull, basically. So it's just a basic hull that we can fly and nothing else. So we want to add a few modules to it. So this is going to be, instead of 3,000, we're up to almost 11,000 storage, which is huge. So the trade we just made, we're going to make like 50,000. And we're going to be running that. We'll automate it at some point, but I'll actually do manual commands for this guy for now. I know, I think as far as components, the thrusters we're not too worried about, or sorry, excuse me, the engine, yeah, thrusters we're not actually too worried about, but the engine, I actually would like to upgrade just a little bit, and I don't want combat engines because I don't care about top speed. I want travel speed. I want him to be able to fly around pretty quickly between different stations. So we're gonna you know, splurge a little bit, and we'll get an engine upgrade here. Shield generator, we're not worried about it. I want him to have one, but we're not gonna get anything sophisticated. It's not that huge of a difference, and to be honest, this thing's not gonna survive anyway. I'm not gonna put any guns on it, because we're not worried about that. It can't defend itself. It's just not going to be able to. And then we'll give a targeting computer on here just in case. I don't think I actually need it, but we'll put it on there anyway. But anyway, we'll save about maybe about 8 to 10,000 on the docking computer because we're heading over to the equipment dock. So I don't think we need a whole ton of crew. Let's give him maybe 4 right now, because we can't really, like, if I try to fully crew him, it's gonna be another 80,000. So let's just give him like 5 for now. And then that'll give us pilots that he's training up as he flies around. So that's gonna be nice. So let's do that. Let's confirm the order. So he's gonna fly out and do that. And then when he's done with that, we're gonna have him start trading a little bit. So from here, I don't know if we'll do hull parts. I might have him do some field coils. Let me pull this up here and make sure that's actually gonna be money that we're gonna make. So that's like 418 for field coils. They need field coil, yeah, well, no, they don't need that many, to tell you the truth. So that's probably not the best thing to do, because they're still desperate for hull parts. Like this shipyard here Needs 70,000 of... Oh, they do need a lot of field coils, though. Alright, well, we can kind of set up for both. I think hull parts will probably be the more desperate option at this point, so we'll give him orders. He's gonna come over, upgrade, like we had planned out, and then when he's finished with that, we'll go to this hull parts factory, do a trade. So they're selling for 230. We'll confirm there, and that's gonna tie up a lot of our money. However, when he gets over to... Let's see who will pay more. He wants 276. He'll pay 272. Let's sell it to him. We'll go here and trade. He'll bring it here. He'll give them 900, and he'll make us about 41,000. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna have, you know, maybe 200, 300, 400,000 that's gonna be tied up from us trading, but they're constantly gonna be making money for us from that. So we'll let that run in the background as we continue to make money. Eventually we need to upgrade this guy. Like, I would want to sell him and get a bigger trading ship for ourselves, but we're not gonna worry about that yet. We're probably not gonna do that until we're ready to upgrade to this guy right here. Once we've got this standing, we will sell our ship and we'll use those funds to help us get the cormorant that we want. But anyway, until then, I'm gonna fly around, we'll do a little bit more, we'll get this guy trading in the background, and we're just gonna start making money. We're just gonna slowly progress until we've got what we need to upgrade to our cormorant. So we're back at the Teladi warp in Profit Center Alpha, and there's a couple things that have happened. I've done a bunch of missions just to earn a little bit of credits, so we're up to about 500,000, but we just spent some money. So we've got a second trading ship at this point. So let's go over here. We've got another turn, which we purchased the hull, sent it over the equipment dock to go ahead and get some basic upgrades. So now we have two. So now that I have two trading ships, that should be enough for the moment, and I don't want to micromanage them anymore. I've been sending the first ship, our first trading ship, back and forth doing field coils and hull parts to the wharf and shipyards. So we want that to continue, but we're gonna automate the process, I think. So at this point, let's set up some trading routes. So this guy right here is gonna be field coils. So let's bring up his info, and then we're gonna get him labeled. We'll label it just like this. And then we'll put a designator so that it'll sort out correctly. So T space dash trader, system trader, field coil. And then our other one, we're gonna come over here. And we're just gonna do hull parts for him. So we've got the two of them labeled. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use repeat orders. Now, if I go to the hull parts trader, and then I look at what systems we're dealing with, I wanna focus mainly here. Like, I wanna sell to these two. But we do have, just in case they've got everything supplied, we'll trade to them first, and then we'll come over here and we'll trade to the wharf, and there's actually a shipyard here somewhere. But we'll trade to the wharf in this sector as well, as kind of a secondary, because if they don't need anything, we still want to be able to sell our stuff. So let's go to hull parts. So if I go to information here, go to behavior, hold position, and then we're at hold position right now, but we can go up to repeat orders, which is right here. And then hit confirm. Now everything we punch in, he's gonna do repeatedly. So we need to take a look at where hull parts are being produced, which is right over here, but the pricing isn't amazing. I do actually like the pricing in this sector in Iana Missouri a lot better. So what we'll do is we're gonna come over and right click, and we're gonna buy here. And then we're gonna pick hull parts out of the list. And then we want to fill up our inventory, and then maximum price, we'll go up to about 225. Actually, let's go to 230. That'll give us a lot of room. So hit confirm. So he's gonna go to this sector, and buy hull parts. And he's gonna fill up his inventory the best that he can, but he won't spend more than 230 credits. Then he's gonna come back to here. I might even just stick with that for now. That way he's not running around all over the place. Yeah, let's do that. Then he's just gonna come back to here. And he's gonna sell here. He's not gonna keep any. And then the pricing he's gonna sell them for will be 250. So he's always gonna make a profit. So he'll go back and forth between these two sectors selling hull parts. And then we can leave him alone. And then we'll do the same thing with this guy. Oh, he doesn't actually have the skill to do it. You need at least 1 star, so actually, let's do this. We're in the station right now, so I can head over to these traders, and there's gotta be a piloting seminar at one of these two. There's no way that there's nothing here.
Greeting.
Yeah, basic seminar, basic for, oh, actually he doesn't even have one. So, all right, let's pick up one of these because we're gonna need a management one. And we might as well pick up a 1-star pilot, just in case we're gonna need it. We won't use it on this guy, but... Oh, and it's the only trader. All right, let me see if, do I actually have one or do I have to hop around stations? Yep, I gotta hop around stations. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna go find a 1-star piloting seminar. And actually, you know what? I'm being silly. Let's go to our personnel. I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's go to captain. I've gotta have somebody, probably the pilot that's flying with me, to tell you the truth. So if I go here, yeah, we've got a couple of them. This guy on our service crew would actually be able to do it. He's got 1 star, so let's do this. Let's have him work on the field coil trader as the captain.
Affirmative.
So he'll head out there. Now we can actually assign some duties. Yeah, now we're able to do the repeat orders. Hit confirm, and then he's gonna do field coils. And because I want standing here, we're still gonna focus on these two, which Yanamis Zura is still a good system for. There's also a field coil factory here. So we have that as well. So I'm gonna do 2 of them in this case. So we'll go here, then we're gonna do field coils. He's gonna fill up his inventory. The maximum price he'll spend, let's go up a little bit just in case these things fluctuate. So let's go to 435. That's the most he'll spend. And then the same thing here. I mean, it's fine to have multiple systems because if his inventory fills up, like if he fills up his inventory and he can't complete the order, like he can't come into the system and fit any more of them, he'll just skip that part of his orders. So let's do the same thing. 435 is the most. And then he's gonna come back to 18 billion and he's gonna sell them here. All right, so the minimum price, we'll just jack this up to 500, which shouldn't be hard. It's been that way the whole time. Like right now, he needs like 6,000 of them for 570, so we should be okay there. He's not gonna keep any of them, and then we hit confirm. And then from there, he should be good to go if we look at his, yeah, so he's got his buy and his sell orders. So these two are gonna go back and forth. Buying and selling, yeah, see, they've already taken money out of the account because they've already got some buy orders set. So now this will automate it. So now we have 2 trading ships. They're gonna be going back and forth, just doing our bidding. So what we wanna do at this point, since we don't need another trade ship, we really could use a scout because it's been a bit of a pain. You'll see I've been running around and I've got just doing like satellite missions, things like that, some of the guild stuff. We've opened up some of this northern sector here, like this northeastern sector of the map, which is nice. So we've got more systems to work with. But I want to be able to fly around a little bit faster. And I still don't want to. I want to get this set up kind of in a core game setup, so you kind of feel like you earned it, and then we'll go and get the DLC ships. That's why I haven't gone over and gotten the Hyperion yet, or the Envoy, just because let's get up and running, let's have a little bit of cash, let's get our upgraded ship from the ministry, and then once we have that, then we'll start going and grabbing these DLC ships, and you'll see it. Like, once we get these DLC ships, I'll show it to you. It's probably not going to be, well, I don't know, we'll see what happens at the end, by the end of this episode, but once you get those DLC ships, I'll show you how much money these DLCs give you, especially the Hyperion one. It'll just, if you have the Hyperion DLC, you can just have millions upon millions of credits in your bank account ready to go as a starter fund, and you don't even have to sell the Hyperion, and I'll show you what I mean. But in the meantime, let's grab our Magpie, since we're not gonna really need it for any trading anymore, and let's just completely strip this ship down. We didn't have a whole lot on there to begin with, but anything we do have, like these bolt repeaters, we can get rid of, the docking computers we can get rid of, the scanners, and any of these targeting computers. Oh, you need to have the trading software on there. If I've got any satellites left, we can sell those, which is nice. Yeah, the crew is just the pilot, but we're gonna keep this pilot because this pilot's been leveling up with us as we've been flying around. But that gives us, just selling the modules is 375,000. So let's go ahead and do that. And then since we want to keep the pilot, let's do this. Let's just go ahead and buy our next ship, and we are going to go ahead and do a scout. Now, obviously, the Paranid and some of the others are going to be, you know, faster. There's no doubt about it, but we're going with the Teladi theme, so we're going to go with the Teladi scout. Now, there's two options, a couple options we've got here, and I don't remember which one would be better. Like, this guy is actually going to be pretty quick. Doesn't have much as far as weapons go, but that's a scout for you, so it's not that big of a deal. So if I put a regular engine on the Guillemot, that'll get us to about 3,000 travel speed and an okay hull, but nothing incredible. We might actually not want to do that. We might want to just stick with the classic Kestrel, just because it's going to be a little bit faster. Like, if I go to a low preset here, and I go up to an all-around engine, no, I take it back. Actually, the Guillemot might be the way to go. I haven't messed around with these ships in a while because I'm usually just doing the Paranid. This is gonna be a little bit more expensive, but I like this ship a little bit better. Boost speed, travel speed at 2,500. If I go to the all-around engine instead of the combat engine, we're up to about 3,000. I actually kind of like that. Now we're gonna buy our modules somewhere else. All right, so this is the ship that we're gonna get. Let's just go with the bare minimum, so it's gonna be about 360,000 for the hull. So let's go ahead and get the hull. And then once it builds this ship for us, we're gonna transfer our captain over, and once the captain is on board, we'll fly this over to the equipment dock and go ahead and get it upgraded. We're gonna need to wait just a little bit because I need to get some cash back, but my traders are out. They're just doing their back and forth right now, so once they drop off their first loads to sell to these shipyards and wharfs, that'll take us back up to almost 500,000 credits, and we'll be able to upgrade this. So I'm gonna get this upgraded, and then I'm gonna continue on with what we were doing. I'm gonna do a few guild missions. We're gonna open up more sectors. We need to get down here. I need to get this. I said it before, and just the game didn't lead me that way. The game took me into this northeastern sector, but I need to open up the middle. So once I get this this Guillemot upgraded, we're gonna start getting into here for Grand Exchange. Now I've went ahead and finished all of the upgrades on our scout ship here. Like, I'll show you what we got. We may actually be at a point where we can kind of skip a step. Like, this Guillemot, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing amazing, but I think just a little bit more DPS, a little bit faster, we might actually be able to handle just some very, very basic combat. So instead of waiting and getting the Cormorant, I think maybe we'll just skip a step. Let's head out. I was pausing to open up Grand Exchange, which is down here, because once you get into this area, you're actually going to start opening up the Envoy quest, which I didn't want to do yet because I didn't really have a ship that was going to handle basic combat to be able to finish it. But I don't think that's the case anymore. I think we're actually good to go. So let's head south and dive into the center section of the map here. This is where the new DLC sections are, and let's see if we can actually handle the combat for the Envoy quest line. All right, so we've opened up some of these central systems here. These, like, almost all of them are Teladi, which is awesome. There's a couple of them right in this area that will connect to Pious Mists, but I didn't open those up yet. I think let's go ahead. The Envoy quest, I actually had forgotten this already, but the Envoy quest had already triggered earlier in the playthrough, so I'm gonna make a correction here. Like, that's this one here, the Diplomat in Distress. So let me accept this. Let's see where he needs us to go.
Travel mode activated.
So it wants me to hit the highway. So let me go to, yeah, that triggered over here. So let me head back over to Parented Space. We'll hit the highway, and let's get that one started. I think we can go ahead and get ourselves an Envoy at this point, and then our growth is accelerated at that point. All right, so we're getting attacked here. I don't think this is gonna be a problem. We'll find out though. I'm not gonna make you guys sit through all the dialogue and stuff, so we'll probably skip through that, but I'll show the combat just so you can see what you're actually up against during this this quest chain. It's not that big of a deal. The question's gonna be the issue. Yeah, this one's the problem. So let's get behind him. He seems to be hitting harder than the other one. You might even get lucky, like sometimes these guys will bail and you can actually take their ships. But he was hitting me pretty hard, so I want to stay with him. Because we don't have a strong ship right now. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I've got you now.
Yeah, we're positioned well, as long as I stay behind him.
How long can this last?
Elite Vanguard.
Yeah, the other one's not that big of a deal. There we go.
Deltrino to
Beautiful.
Fall back. The situation is getting out of hand. I'll be requesting a strike team to handle this.
Not too bad.
I repeat, fall back.
What we're gonna do now is capture this ship. So this will take me a second, but we're gonna capture and repair this and add it to our fleet. So now there's gonna be two of us, and we'll just start building up a squad like this. There we go. It only dipped into our hull a little bit, so with a little bit of repairs, we can keep going. So yeah, we're all set. We're gonna get ourselves an Envoy. Be right back though as I capture this ship. All right, so both ships are repaired. Let's have a look at our new one. It's not gonna be anything incredible. But yeah, it's got, oh, it doesn't even have a shield. We might actually get it upgraded really quick. But yeah, it's just a basic elite Vanguard. I mean, yeah, we'll put a pilot into this and we'll let him follow us and fight with us. But we're gonna get some basic upgrades for this guy, just so that he can actually survive. I could just sell the thing, but there's no reason not to have a wingman at this point. We can sell it a little bit later, unless we want to keep it and use it as a scout. So we've got options at this point. But anyway, let's go ahead and get a pilot into him, get him upgraded, and then we'll be ready for the rest of this mission. All right, so here's our Envoy. Now, there's a couple tasks we're gonna do, and then it kind of just turns into an escort mission. So let me process through that. I did go ahead and I'm just talking over his dialogue, but anyway, I did go ahead and upgrade the Discover, or excuse me, the Elite Vanguard. It's nothing special, but it's gonna be enough to give us some cover. So it's got a little bit of damage, it's got a shield that I put on there. It's slower than us, which is a pain. If you're gonna have fleet mates, you usually want them to be a little bit faster than you so that they can stay with you. So there'll be a couple times where I have to kind of slow down, let him catch up, but it's gonna be nice having two ships in case we get into trouble. And I'm not gonna really lose a whole ton of sleep if I end up losing that ship. But anyway, we've got a data vault here. I just need to open this data vault up, and then we'll get into the escort. When the escort finishes, we're gonna have what I think is probably the best personal ship in the game. All right, so that part of it is done. Now we're gonna be escorting the Envoy, which we can't keep up with it. So we'll trail behind it, and then we'll fight a couple battles. All right, here we go. So he's gonna cut, so the Envoy has stopped, and this is gonna happen a couple of times to where he's gonna cut his engines, and we have to defend him. So we've got two of them coming in. Our escort is with us. What I need to do, though, is not take too much of an alpha strike before us and our squad mate are able to engage them. Because all they're going to do is keep going back and forth, trying to, like, strafe us with damage. We should be fine, though. If we just be systematic with it, take our time, and not... Oops, wrong button there. And not let them chip away at our shields too much. Our wingmate is going to engage, and we should be good to go. See, like, something like this, see, then he's just going to burst right back out again. Yeah, see, one of them will get behind you while you're chasing, and they'll really chip away. See, we're already back into hull. So we're just going to avoid, do the best we can. And this is why you want wingmates that are faster than you, because our guys would already be here and they'd be helping us out. But, you know, life goes on. We'll be good. There we go. So he's engaged. There we go. Oh, we got one of them to bail. Awesome. All right, so we are into hull. Now it becomes pretty easy. We do need to help our wingmate out. Although he does seem to be holding his own. Let's see. Alright, well then bail. Give me your ship. Nope, that's it. If I hit him one more time, he's gonna die, so no, we're not gonna be able to take this one. That's okay. We ended up with one ship. So now we're gonna have 2 wingmen, which is awesome. Alright, so now what we're gonna do, same thing as before. I'm gonna hop out, get this repaired. We'll put a few upgrades on it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we've got another battle here, and I've got, you can see, if you look on the radar, I've got both my wingmen with me this time. So let's see if I can do this without getting wrecked. Now there's 3 of them, so if they all pile on top of me, then there's a serious problem. But we're gonna go nice and cautious into this. I don't think they would be able to, these are all small ships, so it's not like, there we go, yeah, see? So there's an alpha that took out half my shields. Well, let's do this. They're 17,000 away. Our 2 guys should be engaging him at this point. We might be able to gang up on him and take him out before the other 2 can engage. They might be focusing on the Envoy. Oh yeah, look at how quickly. Look at how fast he's down. Well, I will if you bail. I need scouts for my fleet, so leave me your ship and I'll let you live. Maybe? Nope. That's okay. Oh, we got the other 2 in there. I'm gonna let our guys, now that they've attacked me, our guys will engage. And there we go. That's the last of our shields gone. Yeah, we're dipping into hull now. But let's see. I think I've got one of them behind me. Where's my support, guys? Alright, we gotta get out of here. We're halfway through hull, but the other 2 are coming in. I think without wingmen, I'm not sure I would have been able to do this. Yeah, we gotta go. We need to just run away until we get our shield back. We got a little bit of boost left. It's gonna take about, I think, 9 seconds before our shields will actually start to recoup. But I really do need my wingmen to engage these guys. There we go. Looks like they finally are. Alright, let's chill and get some boost back.
Alright then, you are.
There we go. Boy, they really want to pile on me.
I remember the bear. You picked up where they stopped.
Oh, nice. That guy bailed. Perfect. Oh, never mind. That's the Envoy.
Let this go unpunished.
Forget I said that. He's almost dead.
You're stalling the inevitable. That's all you're doing. Science will win.
Awaiting orders.
Okay, so now we need to repair. Oh, it wants me to dock. Was that it? I swear to God, I had one more battle. But anyway, let's, dock here, just to be sure.
I'm truly grateful for your invaluable assistance. My esteemed colleague may have preferred the 126 to remain under Ministry stewardship.
Oh yeah, there we go.
But rest assured, the Argon Federation honors ICSC treaties just as strictly. Now, as promised, your compensation. I've been authorized to offer you an Envoy-class ship on permanent loan in recognition of your service. She's yours to command as you see fit. And naturally, should the
Yeah, I
AFIS
genuinely
or the diplomatic
thought that I
corps
had one
require
more
the
battle,
unique
but it
capabilities
looks
of a
like we
vessel
don't,
like
so
the
this is the Envoy.
You'll find yourself at the very top of our rather exclusive list of contractors.
Okay, thank you.
Citizen, it's been a pleasure. Until next time.
Alright, so that's our guy. So we've got the Envoy. Now what we're gonna do is take that over as our personal ship. Now this should be the right one, right? Yeah, this is one. I was gonna say, it was leading me in another direction. Maybe it was on a different part. So no, anyway, this is our Envoy. Yeah, this is gonna be our personal ship from here on out. Now, we've got 3 scouts, essentially. Let's just do it the manual way. So we've got 3 scouts at this point. And I think what we can do, oh, engine room, that's the wrong direction. I think what we'll do is we'll keep the scouts and use them to start opening up some of these systems. Like we need to explore, say, Grand Exchange, for example, and get some satellites placed down and get some miners working. Once the miners are working, then we're actually going to be able to get into station building because we'll have some consistent income. So this will be nice. I think during we got, well, we'll let him do his dialogue. Give me a moment.
Shortly, should you ever require another one, you can procure it from the Ministry in Argon Wharfs. And from our allies, of course.
Alright, so this is our new ship. So we do have an Envoy. Now this is a massive upgrade over what we were flying. So like I said, we've got 3 scouts. We managed to get 1 ship upgraded to actually do this mission and start it, and then we picked up 2 more. Now I don't have to buy scouts for anything. So we're gonna get them working on some of these mining sectors, just like I said, and then we're gonna use the Envoy to start opening up things like the headquarters, start exploring and opening up other sectors, just getting the map opened up in general and get some of the story missions finished. Now that we've got a ship like this, it's not gonna take long at all. I actually would like to do some upgrades on it. I actually do want the upgraded engine, but I mean, if you just look here, a 560 for our speed, 7,000 for travel speed, we are 10 times what we were before and we're good to go. It already comes armed with everything that you're gonna need. So there are a few upgrades, we'll do those later, but I think we'll call it good for this episode. So that gets us all set up and ready to go, and next episode we'll start further enhancing our economy. Like I said, we'll get some miners up and running, we'll get some income going, and we'll actually start building some stations. But again, I appreciate the support, guys. Thanks for everyone who's been watching, and I'll see you on the next one.